why we fight for 1 yard after 99. It's why we hit the wall, huddle up, and go right back to the line. It's why we get up when we fall. Finishing is painful, but pain is useful. It tears us down only to make us stronger. Champions process pain. They let it simmer until it comes to a boil. We've got a job to do. We've got a debt to collect. We've got a score to settle. And there's only one way to settle it. You take the last yard. You fight to the last whistle. We stand tall for 4 quarters or for however long it takes. From start to finish until the job is done.
Get for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Get for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in.
Forever Union football, all my life.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field, Union. Your 9-time state champions.
Also with me, Tom Stockton. Zach Reynolds is back with us on the sidelines, and Richard Johns is on stats. And Tom, when you get to the playoffs, I don't care, player, coach, you can tell kids all year long this is what you're preparing for, but it's a different energy, isn't it?
Oh, it absolutely is, and especially, with the momentum that Union came into this game with, and on the other side of that, the OSSAA let every team get into the playoffs, and I like that in the sense that there's seniors there for Enid now that get a chance to play.
Which is a really cool thing.
Yeah.
All right, so we know what we think about this, and we'll get to that in a minute, but let's find out what the head man thinks.
Time to check in with Union football head coach Kirk Frederick on Coach's Keys to the Game, presented by Communication Federal Credit Union.
See by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land
Now taking the field for the coin toss are tonight's officials. Referee Kevin Lynch, umpire Steve Emmert, head linesman Caleb Trowbridge, line judge Trent Meyer, and back judge Jason Venata. And joining the officials for the coin toss are team captains. From Enid, number 64, Nate Gamble, and number 75, CJ Adams. And the captain tonight for Union, number 8, Caleb Kalo. Head coach for Enid is Rashawn Woods, and your Union head coach is Kirk Frederick. As a reminder, face coverings are required in all Union Public Schools facilities. Thank you for your cooperation.
Very good football team, and then they were in 6A2, I think, for a few years, and now they're back up 6A1, and that's a growth period. And you know, it's very difficult. I don't know that Enid's growing and blooming like some of these suburbs are.
Well, and that's one of the problems that they have as a smaller town in Oklahoma. Now, they did hire themselves a really good coach. They got Rashawn Woods, a former Oklahoma State receiver, and they are coming along offensively. You heard Coach talk about the quarterback here. It is Blake Priest. He's a senior. He's 6'2", 190 pounds. Last week, they lost to Broken Arrow, but in that game against Broken Arrow, Priest throws 2 touchdown passes and throws for 191 yards, averages 19 yards of completion last week. He's done very well. They brought along Tyke Andrews, who is only a sophomore, and this receiver has over 500 yards this year so far as a sophomore, and again, had a really good game against Broken Arrow. And then they really had a running back who had been playing very well. His name is Johnny Villa, and he's kind of struggled mid-season. Well, Villa last week against Broken Arrow, 142 yards. So they do have some offense. Now, Union won the toss, and decided to apparently receive because Enid's going to be kicking off. Oh, Enid won the toss. All right, sorry. Enid won the toss. They're going to kick off. It's an onside kick. It bounces right to the 50, and it's taken immediately by Union. So the Redskins had no problem recovering that one right away. That was Braylon Irving Fisher who put that thing away. And so right away, Rashawn Woods shows you he's going to be aggressive, and the Redskins will have the ball at around their own 48-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, brought out by a guy we have seen tremendous growth from this year, and that is, of course, our guy, Grayson Tempest.
Oh, absolutely. And you just said it. That tells you something. Enid's not here just to play. They're here to win.
Tempest has 2 running backs. One, of course, A.J. Green. The other, Rovon Banks. They are split next to him. He's in the shotgun. Hand off to Banks, right side. Got a man out front. He's got the corner. Rovon just across midfield. Got down to around the 44-yard line, maybe the 43 of Enid before he was taken out of bounds. A.J. Green with a nice lead block there. Enid got him out. Well, it looks like they were going to gain about, we're going to call it 9. It'll be 2nd down and 1. Nice play to knock him out of bounds over there. I think that was made by Lester.
One of the things Coach Fred talked about is they're huge on the defensive front, and when you go right at them, they're very, very difficult. That they practiced all week about taking the ball wide and making those big guys chase it.
Once again, 2 men in the backfield, one guy going in motion from right to left. That is Rovon Banks. A.J. Green, the single setback. Back is Tempest, throws to his left. That ball is caught. Looked like, was that Shay Dan? I think it was. Yep, that's Big Shay.
Yeah.
They call him Shady. Shady gathered that one in for a 1st down. He'll be around the 34-yard line of Enid. And in 2 plays, that quickly, the Redskins, Union, have another 1st down. And pardon me, we will make that mistake a time or two. I've been broadcasting their games for 20 years. It's going to slip out every now and then. We'll talk more about that later. 1st and 10, Union. Now at the 34-yard line of Enid. Tempest once again in the shotgun. Green to his right. Hand off to A.J. He rolls to his left. He gets by one guy. Gets outside. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, A.J. Green. 34 yards, and he had not a big space to get into. He had a terrific lead block out front by both receivers, and then, Tom, it's just DNA from that point on.
Yeah, it's A.J. speed, and that's what you see. And again, that's exactly the way that Union wanted to start, was with a touchdown on this opening drive in 3 or 4 plays, and here we go.
It looks like they may actually be going with the trick play, the 2-point conversion. Rovon Banks is in the shotgun. They toss it inside to the left to A.J. Green. He pushes inside, and he's in for the 2-point conversion. So Enid onside kicks. Union says, fine. Look what we have. They lined up 8 players to the left, only Banks and a center to the right. He grabbed it, shoveled it quickly to Green, and it's already 8-0. 11:07 to go, 1st period. Union 8, Enid nothing. Redskins kick next on KRMG. And for anyone who's listening out there during this break, we know you can hear us. We are not going to be off the air during our breaks.
It's big.
They are big.
Yeah, very big. But they will motion, and so Union had to work on that going in motion and how to handle that all week long.
2nd and 10 now for the Plainsmen at their own 25-yard line, trailing Union 8-0 with 11 minutes here to go in this first period. Priest pulls the ball and throws it again to his left, and it is nearly intercepted. It bounced again out of the hands of the receiver. He threw it right to Maddox Mayberry, and he just could not handle it. It bounced up in the air, and two Union players had a really good shot at it. Looked like to me that Mekhi Belt had maybe the best shot, but he couldn't bring it in, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now for Enid.
And that's two passes in a row that their quarterback Priest has thrown right on target and that they've dropped them.
Pardon me, that was Arthur Cantlin who had a really good shot at that, it looks like, I think. Double numbers will kill you. 3rd and 10 now for Enid at their own 25-yard line. Priest once again in the shotgun. Villa set to his left, tight end to the right side. Enid sends one man in motion from right to left. They're going to hand to Villa. He has a little hole up the middle, but he's not going to get much. He got across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Almost immediately jumping right on top of him as soon as he got the football was Ryan Smith, and that's not going to go anywhere, really. They're going to end up with a 4th and 9, and they'll have to kick it away here. The Plainsmen in their all-white uniforms, they look a little like Penn State from here, with a very dark blue numbers. They have the silver helmets, Union in their playoff black jerseys, the silver pants, the silver helmets. Villa will kick this ball away, and he almost had it blocked, but he got it off. It's going to bounce right around the 40 and then take a Union bounce backwards, and they'll stop at the 45-yard line. So Union will get fine field position out of Villa's kick. Didn't really go very far, and unfortunately for him, it took backspin. So it'll be 1st and 10 Union at the 45-yard line, their own 45, and they're already up 8-0.
And the defense didn't have very much time to catch their breath after chasing A.J. Green for a while, so maybe they'll not be able to chase him very well as it is.
And there's once again some pretty good big young men out there in that defense.
Oh, they're huge.
Union comes out with Bohannon to the left. They will now send Gage Arthur to the left as well. Shady to the right. Green, single setback, now moves up next to Tempest. Tempest hands to Green, right side. He's going to break free to 50. He's gone. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. See ya. Touchdown, 55 yards for A.J. Green. He's touched it 3 times. He's scored 3 times for a total of 14. And Union now leads by a score of 14-0.
And one of the things that Coach Fred talked about was that going between the tackles was going to be difficult. I think that was just right outside the tackle. And from the moment he got it, you could tell he was going all the way.
Well, there was a tremendous hole there. That offensive line of Union did a fine job of opening up a gigantic hole. And then once A.J. got to around the 45-yard line, they're just was one guy with an angle, but good luck. I mean, if you have an angle in a car, you're not going to catch him. So he's gone to the house. 3 touches, 3 scores, and Union's up 14-0, and we still have 9:59 to go here in this first period. We've got to pause because one of the Enid players is down, trying to catch the number. I believe that is Luis Vega, a senior linebacker, a 5'10", 200-pounder. He is up now, and he's down all the way over on the numbers on the Union side. And this year, Union is not on the press box side because that's the side being built. So they're on the opposite side of what used to be the visitors' side. The visitors are now on what will be the home side. And what is really coming along over there is a stadium, Tom. I'm so impressed by how fast that's being built.
Oh my gosh, I am too. I come by here. Of course, I come out here to talk to Fred a couple of times, but I may pass by here and it looks like something different every day.
Well, I come to coach to help him tape. We tape the coach's show on Monday, but every time when I drive by, I think the same thing. But now this week, a couple things that hadn't been in, like there's some stairs in we haven't seen before. You're actually starting to see what will be the character of the thing now.
Yeah.
Union once again in the very same, very strange extra point, if you will. Rovan Banks is going to take the snap and roll himself to the right. He gets into the end zone easily, and it's 16-0. So Union decided they want to prove a point, prove it early, and they're doing it. 9:53 to go, first period. 16-0 Union over Enid, and this is playoffs, round 1. This is Union football in KRM. They did actually call that a lateral. It was recovered behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 15. Priest hands to Villa straight up the middle, and he got whacked right away by Gabe Ford. He might have gotten to the 22, so we'll say he got 2, and it'll be 3rd down and around 13. Good to see Gabe Ford back. You know, at the beginning of the year, Tom, I was convinced he'd be the best player on this defense, and he's just been nagged by injuries so many times. You know, Kirk told me, he said, look, he can play. It's when he's confident enough to really kind of cut loose. And you can see he's feeling it. But in his stead, people have really stepped up and played well.
Oh, yeah. There's been several people that have stepped in and played well.
3rd and 13 now for the Plainsmen at their own 17-yard line. Priest back to throw. Looks to his right. All kinds of time. Now he's going to run. He fires across the middle, and it's very short. Trying to go to Andrews, and it bounced it way short. Junior Smith was the closest guy. That's incomplete. And it'll be 4th down and 13 for the Plainsmen. Trailing 16-0 with 8:22 to go here in this first period. Union's had it twice. They've scored twice, had 2 extra points that were, two two-point conversion extra points. They lead 16-0, and it looks like the Redskins are also trying to make a point.
Exactly, and unless the punter is better than he's been the first couple punts, they're going to have it on Enid's side of the field.
Well, that's once again Villa, their running back. He's standing at the 5. Jakari Jenkins standing just about the 45-yard line of Enid. And somebody moved. I don't know whether it was a Plainsman or a Union player, but that's going to be 5 yards one way or the other. Looks like they may back up Enid. The officials are still talking about it. They are backing Enid up. That will put the ball now on the 12-yard line. And Jakari Jenkins, they call him Jackie, moves to around the 40-yard line of Enid. So if he's able to catch this thing, Tom, he's going to have a heck of a head start.
Oh, he's going to be inside the 40 when he catches it, I'll bet you.
Villa's now standing on his goal line with his bright orange shoes. There's the snap. He got this one off. And it's not going to be a bad kick. Jenkins backs up, takes it around the 50-yard line, goes straight up the field, makes one miss, still moving on his feet down around the 35-yard line. Got about a 15-yard return. Around the 40, he did a heck of a move on somebody. Juked around him. He got to the 35. That's where they'll mark it, and the Redskins, the Union, will come out once again for a first down, leading 16-0 with 8:11 to go here in this first period, but they'll be at the 35-yard line of Enid. Here comes Union. Shea down to the right. As I said, they call him Shady. I like that. We may stick with that.
Yep.
Banks to the right as well. Bohannon to the left. In the shotgun again, Grayson Tempest. A.J. Green to his left, tied in right side. Now there's motion. Going to hand off to Rovon on the motion on the left side. He is bottled up right away, but he's drags one guy with him. Got probably back to the line of scrimmage, but the instant Rovon picked up the football, there were Enid people all around him. First guy there to make contact was Donovan Riemann. He hung on about as well as he could. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that was the first time they've touched the running backs before they've had big yardage.
Before somebody slapped him on the back in the end zone.
Yeah, exactly.
2nd down and 10 for Union at the 35-yard line of Enid. Once again, here comes some pressure. Back to throw is Tempest. Got a man wide open. Throws it, and it's A.J. Green. Oh, the move at the 20 to the 15, 10-5 touchdown. Oh, my goodness. Holy cow. A.J. Green caught that ball around the 27-yard line. There was one player around the 25. A.J. faked left. The guy went left, and he left all his laundry there when A.J. went back to the right, and he's into the end zone for his 3rd score of the night. Now, 22-0 Redskins, Union.
That was a heck of a throw, and like you said, as soon as he caught it, you could tell it was going to be big.
And again, the 2-point conversion will be one of the funky formations, if you will. Running and throwing to his left, that is Rovon Banks. Bohannon catches it back at the end zone, and it's 24-0. So we're going to explore something. Zach on the sidelines, I want you to check out and see if Union's having a problem kicker-wise tonight, and maybe that's why they're doing all the 2-point conversions. I'm wondering if Tyler Cowan has had an injury, so check on that for us. We'll do that when we come back. Right now it's 24-0 Union. They lead with 7:19 to go here in this first period over Enid. This is Union football on KRMG.
For a personalized and confidential consultation that will help get you performing your best. That's 918-488-0000. To learn more about what visit universalmensclinic.com/.
First and 10.
This is the home of Union High School football.
He says there's not.
Kickoff, kickoff to the 1-yard line. Villa returns it out to the 21-yard line. That's where Enid will take over, 1st and 10, but they trail 24-0 to Union. Rick Corey along with Tom Stockton, Zach Reynolds. We'll get to Zach on the sidelines in a minute. Richard Johns here, a 2-play 35-yard drive, capped by a 45-second drive. How about that? A.J. Green's 35-yard pass reception from Tempest and another 2-point conversion to get us where we are. Enid hands the ball off to Vina, left sides, and he gets nothing. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Zach, I had you go ask about the extra point. What'd you find out?
Yeah, I talked to head athletic trainer Dan Newman, and he said
He said, at least as far as I know, there's no kicking injuries, but he says he thinks it's just a coaching decision for the time being.
Gotcha. All right, we appreciate it. And we appreciate Dan Newman visiting with us. He's one of the finest athletic trainers in this entire nation.
Absolutely.
Second down and 12. Villa actually lost 2 yards for Enid. 6:43 to go first period. They trail 24-0. The Plainsmen are on their own 20-yard line. Priest is their quarterback, and there's a timeout called by the Plainsmen. We'll take a break, too. 24-0 Union. This is Union football on KRMG.
Catch every moment of Union High School football on KRMG.com, the KRMG app, and 102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's news and talk.
Second and 12 for the Enid Plainsmen as they hand off Priestley to Villa. And there's a flag down and whistles blow, and this will stop play with 6:30 to go here in this first period. Union up by a score of 24-0. Rick Corey with Tom Stockton. We got Zach down on the sideline, Zach Reynolds and Richard Johns here too. Richard tells me the total yards right now stands at 142 for Union, most of that A.J. Green, and -3 for Enid.
And that was against Enid, so that's 5 more yards they'll have to pick up.
Yeah, they'll put them back at the 15-yard line. It'll be second down and 17 for the Plainsmen. Difficult night already for Blake Priest, their quarterback. He's hit several guys in the hands, and they've just not been able to hold the ball. Priest in the shotgun, Villa to his left, short slot to the left as well. Now motion goes from right to left. Priest slaps the hands, fakes the handoff, and then throws it behind the tight end, who then dropped it, Tyler Holland. And he should have caught it, but he did not. So that's about 5 that Priest has delivered right in the hands of receivers, and they just have not been able to hold the ball. Falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 17. And Tom, as a quarterback, because I know you played the position, you know guys are trying. But when they consistently drop balls, how frustrating is it?
Oh, it's very frustrating. Same as it would be if you were wide open and you didn't get the ball to them. It'd be frustrating for them also.
How in the world? You just keep throwing it, I guess, right?
It's all you can do.
3 receivers go left side for Priest on this 3rd and 17. Slaps the hands, rolls to his left. He's got pressure, throws it, and that ball is finally caught. They completed one around the 22-yard line. That was Cam Mathis. He's the 6'4 receiver. They'll mark it around the 23-yard line, but that's only a gain of probably about 8. So they're going to end up with 4th down and about 9 anyway, and they will have to kick it away with 6:15 to go here in this first period, trailing 24-0.
And that was just like some of the others, right to him, and they finally made a catch. That was a good one.
Villa will stand at his own 10-yard line to punt it away. They are coming from the north to the south. Jakari Jenkins back around the 45-yard line of Union. There's the snap. It's a good one. The punt's a little short. Jakari's going to take it right at the 40. He's got a little bit of room. He's at midfield at the 45, cuts to the outside, and he's going to go down around the 40-yard line. And that was a fine tackle around the 40-yard line. Jakari Jenkins has got some shake. He can get loose, but Carlos Alvarado collared him right there. They're going to mark it right there, so Union will start at the 41-yard line of Enid. So once again in Plainsman territory. One thing you do look at, Tom, when you see this Enid roster, is there are a lot of young guys on here, a lot of sophomores and freshmen on this roster, so they have a chance to get pretty good.
Exactly right. And this, I'll tell you what, this is going to be huge coming up from here to this point on. Are they going to fight to stay in it and try to make it one play at a time, or what?
1st and 10 for Union, now at the 41 of Enid, already 24-0 with 6 minutes to go in this first period. In the shotgun, once again, is Tempest, throws to his left, ball caught out there by Banks. He cuts it to 40, goes inside to the 35-yard line. Tackled right away, and that was really a nice hit by Donovan Riemann, the defensive end, 6'4", 220-pounder. But that's not before about 7 for Robon Banks. It'll be 2nd and 3.
And so far, whether they've run the ball off tackle, wide, or thrown the ball, everything's been a success for Union.
3 players go wide side. That's going to be Gage. It's going to be Bohannon and Shadan. No one to the left, tied into that side. Once again, Tippus to the shotgun. Now A.J. Green goes in motion to the right. Tippus straight back, looks, fires to Green. He's got some room. A.J. cuts inside 1 at the 35. Still on his feet at the 30. A.J. on his feet at the 25-yard line. How in the world did he make 3 people miss in such a short period of time? He got down to the 24-yard line. The final tackle in there was Reese Slater. But A.J. Green just is putting on a clinic here tonight. His 1st and 10 Union.
And what I want to know is not how did he make a miss, how did they not break their ankles with some of those moves he makes, and then they can't, and then they fall down when he goes by them.
He ran through 4 other tackles after that was over. 1st and 10 for Union. Now Junior Smith's going to be at that tailback spot, lined up to the left, hand off to Junior. He jumps up inside, has room. Junior at the 20, pushes down inside the 20. You know, he might not have the overall straightaway speed of A.J. Green. I think on the actual cut, he might be quicker. He makes some cuts coming out of the break that just hard for me to believe. He got all the way down to the 20-yard line. A conglomeration of Enid Plainsman tackled him there. It'll be 2nd and 1. That was a 9-yard gain. Shea Dan goes left side again. 2 tight ends. Sanders, the short slot tight end, right side. Now 2 backs. It's in the old I formation. Once again, hand off to Junior Smith. All kinds of room. Dances forward in the end zone. Touchdown. Oh, Junior Smith had to think he was looking at just a picture of the tall grass prairie. There was nothing but green out there when he took the football.
Well, I don't want to take anything away from A.J. Green, but I think I might have been able to score on that one. There was such a hole.
Well, that was Junior Smith, not A.J.
I didn't mean, I'm sorry, Junior Smith, and oh my God.
That was an enormous hole. He got through there so quickly, made the initial first move just like he should, and it's 30-0. This time on for the extra point is Cowan. They're going to kick this one. There's the snap in the hole. The kick is up, just up. But he got in there, and it's good. So with 4:08 to go in this first period, 31-0 Union. They'll kick it to the Plainsmen next on KRMG. Bryce, I think, are we out of commercial? Union. Houchin approaches to kick it off. Villa will take it around the 5-yard line for Enid. He's at the 10 to the 15-yard line, and he is swarmed right there. Boy, Enid just has not had a chance to get anybody in the open. He might have gotten to about the 18-yard line. Junior Smith, one of the guys in there on the tackle, also there was Shane Fields. A lot of defensive players play on that kickoff teams and the specialty teams, and it's something in the old days you didn't see an awful lot of, but now Tom starters are playing special teams.
Yeah, well, people are getting better at returning and on covering and everything, so everybody's starting to do that.
So Enid trailing 31-0 will come out again. This time they'll be 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line. 3 receivers go left side for Blake Priest. Johnny Villa, his running back. He has motion. There's the snap. Quick throw to the left side. That ball is caught around the 15-yard line up to around the 17 and the 20 and 22, and then out of bounds right there is Tyke Andrews. And he's only, as I mentioned, a sophomore. He's 5'10", 160. Looks a little bigger than that. And again, to me, Tom, looks like he's going to be a really fine player someday. But right there, I got to tell you, I didn't see a lot of effort to try to make anybody else miss. He just ran out of bounds.
He declined it. Took it right to the sidelines.
He got 5, though. It's 2nd and 5 right there. So that's good news for Blake Priest, who's had himself a couple of drops tonight as he throws the ball. Priest under center this time, now at their own 22 on 2nd and 5. He's going to fake to his left and roll to his right. He has room, throws downfield. That ball is caught. It's a big tight end around the 45-yard line, so there's a big first down. And Enid really likes this tight end, Tyler Hall, and he's 6'1", 180 pounds. And that is by far, that's really going to about quadruple their entire offensive output. Nicely done play, nicely thrown, nicely caught. And it's a first down for Enid, almost now in Union territory around their own 48.
Yeah, that was a good play call, and it was right there, and they caught it. And earlier in the game, they had some guys open, and they didn't catch it.
So they're going to mark it at the 47. It'll be 1st and 10 for Enid right there, their own 47-yard line. Again, Priest in the shotgun. He's going to hand this time to Villa, and he is swamped. He had nothing to do immediately, and it was Matthias Roberson who just swallowed him up. There's a flag out there at around the 45-yard line. Kurt Fredericks all the way out to the numbers to talk about something. He's calling a player off the field, and we are going to see who exactly this is. This was an motion penalty against Enid. It'll move him backwards. Your officiating crew, the referee is Kevin Lynch. The head linesman is Steve Emmert. The line judge. The head linesman is Caleb Trowbridge. The line judge, Jason Matisha, and the back judge is Trent Moyer. We'll not hear from them. I understand once the new stadium is finished, we will have a feed from the officials, like we have in college, which will be really nice. Looking forward to many things over there, mostly a bathroom.
Exactly.
Although we are in the end zone here, broadcasting out of the UMAC, and there's one about 10 feet from us, which is good news from the old days. 1st and 15 now for Enid. They're going to kind of a little inside toss sweep, getting to the outside 45-yard line. Out of rounds around the 50-yard line. That's a nice little quick throw to Ethan Slater. And he gets all the way up to the 50, let's see, we're going to say right at the 49. So he didn't quite get into Union territory. We got to the 49-yard line. So that's a really nice 7-yard gain. And it'll be 2nd down and 8 now for Enid.
You know, and as I said earlier, Coach Fred had said they motion about 50% of the time, and tonight they're motioning more like 75, 80% of the time. I don't remember hardly any plays they haven't had some motion.
4 receivers now for Enid. Now they will send Villa in motion as well. Priest going to drop back and throw the little screen to the middle, and that ball is caught and just slammed down right away was Brock Slater. He's the backup quarterback, also playing some slot receiver. He caught the ball at the 49, and he got hammered. Boy, Union was all over him immediately. Braylon Irvin Fisher, one of the first guys there, and it'll be 3rd down and 8. He didn't gain an inch.
And my guess is this might be 2-down territory because they can't afford to kick it to Union because they haven't had a stop at all.
43 to go first period, 31-0 Union already. Big 3rd down and 8 now for Enid. They send 3 receivers to their left, 1 to their right. The guy out there to the right is the guy who's been the most dangerous. That is Tyke Andrews, and there's going to be a timeout called, it looks like, by Enid. We're going to keep it here. We're going to go down to Zach Reynolds on the sidelines, and I want to find out, first of all, Zach, just overall how this football team is feeling. It's got to be great down there, but did you get the feeling beforehand, just walking around, that they were going to have this kind of a start?
They really seem to be very calm at the beginning of the game, and a lot of the time, they get really hyped up after scoring, and they did, but it kind of went straight to a back-to-business mentality right afterward, and it's kind of something really haven't seen too much this year, where it just was so calm before the storm, and then they really took control, obviously, right out of the gate with a 31-0 lead.
All right, I have to ask you this. You've been on the sidelines for regular season games here, and now this one. Do you feel a different energy from everything?
I definitely think there's a different energy amongst the players. I mean, we heard Coach Fred talk about it earlier, that Week 11 is the week they look forward to from Week 1, and you can tell these guys are prepared for this game, certainly, not just by the score, but by how they're conducting themselves on the sideline.
All right, well, Zach will be back with us a little bit later on in the game. 3rd down and 8 now for Enid. They are at the 49-yard line of Union. Priest has the snap, running to his right. He's going to have to hurry. He fires it way downfield, and that ball is incomplete. He was trying to go, once again, to Tyke Andrews, and I got to be really honest, I was worried about an interference call right there. There was a lot of hand fighting as he went out of bounds, and it was Jaden Rowe who was running with him, and there is no flag, so this will remain 4th down and 8, and we'll find out if Tom is right, if Enid will go for it, or if they'll kick it away, trailing 31-0 with 1:17 to go in the first.
In talking to the secondary, Ernie Trujillo, Coach Trujillo was talking and saying that they like to go deep, and in a few games they had people wide open when they would do that. And Ernie, and By the way, his mom is listening from New Mexico tonight.
Hey, where in New
Listening
Mexico,
to the
do you know?
game. I'm not sure.
Because I may have eaten in that restaurant. Throw to the left side quickly, and that goes out to Villa, and he is swarmed at the Union 49-yard line, so he only got 2. That'll make it downs and turnover for Enid, and it will be Union's football as Villa swung quickly out of the backfield. He was hit quickly with a pass by Priest, and as soon as that ball was caught while we were talking about restaurants, that was Shane Fields who was able to drag him out of bounds. So Enid did get into Union territory for the first time tonight, but it won't be enough, and it'll be 1st and 10 Union right away. Minute 8 to go, first period. They're up 31-0. They'll send 3 receivers left side. Bohannon, the outside man. A.J. Green is back. Now he motions right side. Tempest alone in the backfield. In the shotgun. There's the hand clap. Straight back to throw, and he's just going to fire it down. It's going to go to Sanders, and it's incomplete at the 30-yard line. Sanders had to go way up for it. Ball being really high. John White, the cornerback, hit him right in the ribs, and he isn't able to hold it, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
I'll be surprised if they don't come back at some point with that, because when that ball was thrown, all the defenders were deep, and A.J. Green was standing out there at about 7 or 8 yards wide open.
As soon as A.J. goes in motion, they all run deep. Now they'll have 2 receivers left side. Shea Dan will be lone receiver right side. Once again, in the backfield is A.J. Green. The handoff to Green. He cuts to his left. He's going to go across midfield. He'll be around the 45-yard line of Enid before he's dragged down there. Nice first move, but this time Enid closed quickly around him. The first guy in there to make that hit was Carlos Alvarado. That's a gain of about 7, though, and it'll be 3rd down and 3 with 45 seconds to go here in this first period. Union already up 31-0.
And this is the first 3rd down that Union has had.
And it may be the last, considering. All 3 receivers go left side. Junior Smith will be the single setback. Tied in to the right side, that's Sanders. Now Smith moves up to the right of Tempest. Hand off to Junior Smith. He's going to have to bounce outside. He's going to have to hurry. Got room, 40, 30. He's going to be inside that, down to the 25. Oh, Junior Smith just exploded at around the 45-yard line. There were people there, Tom, and he just ran by everybody. Dagan Gibbons made the final tackle, but not before A.J. runs for 17, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Union. They're going to mark this ball, I think, at about right at the 20?
Looks like it, yeah.
Yeah, and they're going to put it right on the 20. Have to hurry here. We only have 5 seconds in the quarter. They want to get this play off. Union quickly to the line of scrimmage. And now they're going to let the thing run to 0. So that will do the first quarter, and we'll have Union coming directly at us to start this second quarter, and that'll be fun to see because they'll likely be in the end zone again soon. 31-0 Union going to quarter 2 against Enid, round 1 of the playoffs. This is Union football in KRMG.
scores from around the state. Broken Arrow taking on Putnam City this evening. That's who Union will take on if they manage to win this game, which does look likely. Broken Arrow leads Putnam City currently 14-0. Now as we head on, Jinx taking on Moore this evening as well. And Jinx currently leads that one in the first quarter 7-0 over the Moore Lions. One last game, Southmore, Westmore have a matchup this evening. Westmore currently leads Southmore 14-2 in the first quarter. I'll throw back down to Rick and Tom on the field.
Thank you very much, Bryce. We appreciate it. First down handoff to Relvon Banks. Only got about a yard before being taken down by Dagan Gibbons. It'll be second down now and 9 for Union at Enid's 20-yard line. Underway here in the second period. Redskins up, Union up 31-0. Quick fake now back to throw is Tempest. He's going to go to the end zone on the side. That is Sanders, and he had it in his hands and dropped it at the 2-yard line. Sanders was decently closely covered in there by John White, but he had a really good shot at that thing as it was a nice outside shoulder throw. Yeah, he could not hang on to it, and he's going to get up slowly, and Sanders is, and run straight to Dan Newman. Dan is going to actually runs right by Newman. Dan tried to stop him, and Sanders just ran by him. But you can tell he's hurting a little bit as he took one in the ribs. It'll be 3rd down and 9 for Union now.
That was
at the 20-yard line.
Excuse me. That was an excellent throw.
It was a tremendous throw right there by Grayson
Tempest. Only place
Tempest.
he could catch it, and
So,
that was there.
3rd and 9 from the 20 of Enid. Union will need the 11-yard line for the first down. 3 receivers to their left. Tempest in the shotgun. Grayson slaps the hands. Back to throw. Looks. Tosses it right side. Rovon has it at the 20. 15. Rovon Banks 10. Rovon Banks down to the 6. When Rovon caught that, there was not a lot out in front of him, and he was really taking his time and just picking his way through. The first guy there was Dagan Gibbons. He had help from Omar Pintate. But he really had the room, and I was really impressed by his patience right there, Tom. He did a very nice job of that.
Just waiting for the block to come.
I'm sorry, I'm messaging. I need one more sheet. Thank you, Becky. Becky's bringing us our stats in here, and we appreciate it.
Oh, she's the best.
She is the best. She even likes you. 1st and goal now for Union at the 7-yard line of Enid. Tempest under center. It's going to hand right side to Rovon Banks. Rovon dances down to the 5. Rovon still pushing. Oh, he didn't quite get there. He's at the goal line, and I mean at the goal line. Pardon me, that was AJ.
Yeah.
AJ Green got down to the less than 1-yard line. They're going to mark that at about just inside the 1. And it'll be 2nd and goal, Union right there. 31-0 Union already with 10.5 to go here in this first period, or second period. And A.J. Green got him about 6 on that run, and I thought he was going to make the end zone. He looks a little tired already. You can understand why. Union now, 2 players in an old I formation. Junior Smith, one of them. Toss left side, that goes to A.J. Green. He just kind of makes his way left, pushes into the end zone, and he's got yet another touchdown. A.J. Green scores again, this time from 1 yard out, and it's 37-0 Union, and we are just underway in the second period with 10:11 to go here in this period. We'll get to the first quarter stats in a minute, but Tom, it's impressive.
Oh, it's very impressive.
And Enid came in here. They were a 3-7 team, 1-6 in league play, but they were a team that was improving. And tonight, it's just you can tell the team that's improved the most at this point. Cowan on for the extra point. He boots it. It is high, and it is through. 10 minutes and 11 seconds to go here in this first half. Now 38-0 Union over Enid. Back with the kickoff next on KRMG.
Carolers, that's the holiday spirit. Speaking of which, Simply Safe Home Security.
Anytime she comes in, Richard, to get stats, it's always ask for a second one.
30% off the new system and
They just don't know yet. Always ask for a second one.
That's 30% off the
What's that?
system. US News need to
Yeah, that's right. Just ask him again. I get it. It's all right.
Simply Safe protects your
So the actual score is A.J. Green 26, Union 12, Enid nothing.
There you go.
That's the way that's going to work. Plainsman with a 1st and 10 at their own 20. Priest in the shotgun. He's going to hand to Villa, and he's going to be tripped up right across the 20-yard line. He was not really taken down by anyone. He was being pushed The offensive line was being pushed backwards, basically, by Union right there. And it was R.J. Wilson who had pushed his guy back in Villa's face, and Villa just literally tripped over his own tackle, got him about 1, and it'll be 2nd down and 9.
And I'll tell you what, that's pretty good when you can push that offensive line back, because 360, 285, 255, and another 255 and a 285.
They do grow some big ones out there
Oh,
in
they do.
Enid. Priest in the shotgun, once again, Villa to his right. Now motion from left to right, 3 receivers total for the Plainsmen. Quick throw over the middle of the field, and it is dropped. He hit the tight end right in the hand, Tyler Holland, and again, Holland just dropped it. So Blake Priest has thrown a couple of really nice balls tonight that Enid has just dropped. And if you talk to Rashawn Woods, their head coach, and yes, it's that Rashawn Woods, the former Oklahoma State player, they've had that problem. They've had dropsies middle of the year. He thinks they're getting better, and he thinks technique-wise he's teaching them, and who better than Rashawn Woods. But as of now, it's been difficult. 3rd and 9 now for Enid at their own 21-yard line, trailing 38-0 with 9:17 to go first half. Priest sends one man in motion, comes to the left, now goes back to the right. Priest is going to go ahead and hand to Villa. He's got a little bit of a hole, pops across the 20 to around the 24-yard line. He was swarmed quickly there. One of the first guys to make a touching was Johnny Harrison. John didn't get him completely down, but he slowed him up, and that's when Jamori Ray got there and finished him off. And it'll be now 4th down and around 5. And Enid really doesn't have any choice now, Tom. They have to kick it from down here. Villa, who's also the running back, will be the kicker. He's going to be standing back at around his own 13-yard line. Looks like it's once again Jakari Jenkins who's going to be standing back near midfield. Got the kick off. It was nearly blocked. Makes the catch at the 45-yard line. Jumps across that to the 50. He'll get to around the 47. It looked like the ball popped loose, and a lot of guys jumped in there. Not getting any indication from anybody of whose ball it is. Union comes out with it, so I think it's going to stick with Union. And that was Rhett Rogers who came out of the bottom of that pile with the football. So the Union team will take it again at 38-0. And I say Union team, and I'll apologize because occasionally tonight I'm going to say Redskins. The Union board has decided that they're not going to use that name anymore, and that mascot name. They're going to just be Union until probably, Tom, they said next fall, and then they will decide what they want to be when it comes to mascots. So tonight it's just Union. I apologize if occasionally I call them the old name. 1st and 10 for Union now. They'll be at the 48-yard line. That's their own 48. Grayson Tempest under center. He's going to hand off left side. That's a reverse. He's going to hand that ball to Gage Arthur at the 50. Gage at the 45 could not make the one-man miss. He had an opportunity, but John White was right there, and he could not shake him. And if Gage gets past him, he has got some room. It'll take it down to the 46, though, of Enid, and Union has a player down.
Number 75.
Now they are looking at one of the offensive linemen. That's Sunday Ola, who is down out there. He is sitting up, but he just took his helmet off. I'm trying to watch as Dan Newman runs out. You won't find a better athletic trainer.
No, you won't.
The entire training staff, and I mean, you talk about out there fast. And earlier, when an Enid player fell and went down on the Union sidelines, Jacob Newby was there. I mean, he's the assistant trainer, and he was there. And by the time the Enid trainers got there, he was already doing some diagnosis on the leg of that Enid player, who then went ahead and was able to get up and walk away. Sandiola we don't know about yet. But they are handing his helmet to someone else as he continues to be talked to. I just saw him. I mean, I saw him sitting there, and Zach Reynolds on the field. I don't know if you had any better chance to see anything or have heard anything about what happened there or what's wrong with Sunday.
I had to dodge Gage Arthur a little bit there as he was coming off, so I didn't quite get to see how he went down. I just saw Dan Newman sprinting out there, like you said.
Hey, what can you see from there that we can't from here? I know he's sitting up. I know he had his helmet off. I know they're talking. Does he look like he's in pain?
From right here, it doesn't really look like he's in pain. He kind of just seems to be just kind of talking to them right now. And as you said, he's sitting up, and he looks like he's going to be able to get up here with a little bit of assistance. But still talking both to Coach Fred and Dan Newman.
All right, so thank you very much, Zach. Well, watch how he walks off, and Tom, that'll have an awful lot to do with it, because if he has to be helped and he's limping, he's not limping much. He's putting pressure as he walks off. And when a guy's down like that, he was down initially on all fours. You don't know, did your bell rung?
Yeah.
Did you land
You
on
don't
your
know
head?
Yeah.
And Sunday's a big guy too, so you don't know exactly what's wrong. Now he's walking as though things are all right, but looks like Dan Newman looks like he might be taking him straight to the training room too.
He's grimacing quite a bit.
All right, so say that again, Zach. What'd you say?
Yeah, he's grimacing quite a bit, so it seems like he's in some pain certainly, and holding on to Dan Newman's hand quite tight.
He is, but he's walking as though
Yeah.
the legs are okay, which is it's just going to be unique. We'll have to watch and see what's happening. Thank you very much, Zach. And he is going to take him right to the training room, so we'll see exactly what's going on there. And the way he's walking, Tom, it still could be a head thing.
Yeah,
It'll be back to play. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for Union. The ball's on the 46-yard line of Enid. There is a fake handoff rolling to the right. He's going to throw that ball and got a guy wide open, 45-yard line. Caught 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. What a burst of speed. Oh, my. Lane Wood, the tight end, and he's a freshman. Caught the ball around the 40, and then, Tom, when he hit the corner, he hit jets we didn't know he had, and he scampers into the end zone, and it's 40, 4-0 Union.
I think they counted him out.
Oh, they called him out of bounds. Oh, my.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I swear that guy got into the end zone without getting out of bounds, but they did call him out around the 3-yard line, so take that off. Sorry, it'll be 38-0. And I guess that last hit did knock him out of bounds. So Union comes up 1st and goal at the 3-yard line of Enid. Under center is Tempest. 2 short slots right side. He's going to toss the ball right side to A.J. Green, and he's going to lose some yardage back at the 10-yard line. He is gang tackled there. A.J. tried to bounce it back and thought maybe he could get to the left side. He could not, and he was quickly taken down in there. And Enid had a number of players out there. The guy with the most pressure, though, was Donovan Raymond once again. And that's going to be a loss all the way back to the 9, and that'll make it 2nd and goal from the 9. That's a loss of 6.
And that's a first loss, I think, of the night, and let alone a 6-yard loss.
Well, you run a sweep to the short side in a situation like this. There are a lot of players stacked out there. 2nd and goal from Union. For Union, pardon me, at Enid's 9. It's 38-0 Union here with 7 minutes to go in this 2nd quarter. Tempest in the shotgun. There's motion. Rolls to his left. Now he's just going to take it. Grayson's going to get to the 10, get to the 5, tries to get upfield and cannot. Runs out of bounds. He went out about the 4, and by the time Grayson got to the 4, honestly, if he's able to keep his feet, he's going to score because he had room out there. But he never could. Enid did a nice job of forcing him to the corner, and he couldn't quite get in the end zone. John White was the guy who made that final pressure. So it'll be 3rd down and goal now from the Enid 4. And remember, it was 1st and goal from the Enid 3. Now it'll be 3rd and goal from the Enid 4. 22 on the play clock, and the teams are kind of milling around. They're going to have to hurry a little. 38-0 Union with 7 minutes to go in this 2nd quarter. They will send 2 short slots to the right end. Sanders is one of those, so he's back. That's nice. Lane to the left. Tempest again in the shotgun. Now there's motion. Gage Arthur, he's going to fake to him. Back to throw is Tempest. He's going to fire it to the end zone, and that ball is knocked away. He had a man open, and once again, it's the same guy who almost scored earlier, Lane Wood. But he threw the ball a little bit high. And when he threw the ball high, John White had time to get there, and that's why that falls incomplete, because Lane Wood was open initially, but it had to be thrown pretty quickly by Tempest.
And now they're going to kick a field goal, which I think is
It's
good.
smart.
Yeah, very smart. And also, you know, it gives the field goal kicker. That's one of the reasons it's smart. It gives him a chance to get in there. And
That is the reason it's smart.
Yeah.
You want to work that here for the playoffs, there's no
working
question
it.
about it.
Absolutely.
So they will put that tee down around the 11-yard line. So a 21-yard attempt for Cowan. It's going to be near the middle of the field, just inside the hash mark. Teams are all ready. There's the snap, there's the hold, the kick is up, and it is, without question, good. So with 6:56 to go here in this first half, it is now 41-0 Union leading Enid. This is Union football on KRMG.
The typical car dealership pays their salespeople on commission, but Nelson Mazda at 99th and Memorial isn't typical. Instead,
I've stopped myself from saying Redskins about 4 times, but every time it's a hold.
Experience. The Nelson Mazda team never has an agenda.
Please name the team. has had maybe one or two breakdowns on kicks, kick coverage this year, but otherwise, Tom, they have been really solid.
Yeah, they have been, and I think John Davis still does that, and he's always been pretty strong with the kicking teams and that kind of stuff. And they've done, you're right, they've done a great job.
Gino Boyd was the guy who made that tackle. So trailing 41-0, here comes Enid. They will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Once again, Blake Priest is their quarterback. Had a difficult night at best with several drops so far. Johnny Villa, his running back, to his right. 3 receivers, now motion goes right to left. Priest claps the hands to Villa. He cuts to his outside, and he got lit up. Caleb Calo just brought the wood. Ooh. Villa got to the 22-yard line, but that might be the most painful 2 yards of his season. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Boy, you're right. He had about a 5-yard run before he even made the contact. I mean, Calo ran about 5 yards to get there, and he really laid it on him.
Well, when Villa first took the football and jumped to the outside, you thought, all right, he's going to get 5 here. And then suddenly number 8 comes out of nowhere. 3 receivers for Enid. 2 go to the left, 1 to the right. Guy to the right's the guy they've been looking for most of the night, and it's Tyke Andrews. There's a snap throws to the left side, though, and caught around the 30-yard line to the 31. Cam Mathis, he's the big 6'4 receiver, made the catch. Union was there quickly, but not before Matthews got the first down. The tackle there made by Braylon Irvin Fisher. That'll move the ball to the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Enid. Gets a heck of a target.
Yes,
Cam Mathis is 6'4", 170, and he's only a junior. He goes back to the left. Andrews wide guy to the right side, one other receiver there as well. Priest again in the shotgun, motion right to left. Now motion back to the right. Villa standing behind, hand off to Villa. He makes one miss and goes across it, drop the football. It is picked up by Union. It is about around the 34-yard line. And the Union player who picked it up was big Michael Thomas, and I would have loved to see him get in the open field. That would have been fun. And that was going to be probably, Tom, a 5-6 yard gain for Villa. And as he was running through the hole, someone, and I didn't see which one, and Zach, if you saw, let me know. Someone reached an arm out and just stripped the ball as Villa ran by, and Villa turned and looked for it like, where'd the ball go? And then big Michael Thomas had it, so Union will take it over, leading by a score of 41-0 with 5.5 to go here in this first half.
I think it might have been R.J. Wilson.
All right, say that one more time, Zach.
I think it was R.J. Wilson that got his hand, and I couldn't quite see. There was a little bit of a pile there, but I'm pretty sure that's who got his hand on the ball.
That would be number 93, R.J. Wilson, who's been playing a really good football, but there's so many of these Union guys defensively that you haven't heard a lot about have been playing great football. So 1st and 10 for Union. Now they'll have it at the 34-yard line of Enid. They're already up 41-0 is Union. Tempest under shotgun. He's going to turn, fake. Now he's going to throw, and he's going to go deep to Shea Dan, and Shea cannot quite get to it. It's incomplete. That's good coverage in there again by John White. And Shea Dan, I wouldn't say he was open, but Tom, if Tempest leads him just to the other shoulder, he threw the ball to the inside, which ended up being where John White was. He throws that to the other shoulder, and that might be a score because Shea Dan's so much bigger, but it's incomplete in 2nd and 10.
And I will say this. What we're seeing so far from Enid here, especially here in the second quarter, they haven't given up.
Not at all.
They're fighting, especially on defense.
And they are down 41-0. It is 2nd and 10 for Union now at the 34-yard line of Enid. A.J. Green will be the single setback. There's going to be a hand to Green on the left side. A.J. outside, got some room, 35, 20, flag goes down. He went from the 35-yard line to the 20 in what seemed like 2 steps before he was dragged down. And give credit to Enid's big defensive line, and when I say big, I mean big. Sean Graves, who's 355 pounds, made that tackle that far downfield. But that flag is thrown where you're almost always going to see holding.
Holding. It's exactly what it is.
And that is where it is. So says Kevin Lynch, our referee. And so they will spot foul that thing and back it up. So after being really, really sharp early, it's deteriorated a little bit for Union. But as Tom said, Enid hasn't given up either. And it's, I got to tell you, I don't care how excited you are. It's hard to keep your momentum. It's hard to keep your focus when you're up 41-0 in the second quarter.
And you can't play any better than they played the first quarter anyway.
So they move the ball back to the 38-yard line because it was a spot foul, and it'll be 2nd and 14 now. They're at Enid's 34. Tempest in the shotgun. He's alone there. He's got 4 receivers. Claps the hands, looking to his left. Now rolls to his right. Oh, he's got all kinds of room if he wants to run. Does not. Throws inside and Sid Bohannon. Makes one miss at the 30. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Gage Bohannon into the end zone for the touchdown. And I got to tell you, The block at the end was the key. Gage Arthur had a safety tied up right about the 2-yard line. That safety's Dagan Gibbons, who's made about 9 tackles today, and he refused to come off him. He didn't hold him. He didn't grab him. He just relentlessly blocked him, and because of that, Bohannon gets into the end zone, and that's another touchdown. That is team football.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and that was an excellent play there by Tempest. It looked like he could have run it himself, but he found the open man and hit him.
Extra point coming up by Cowan, and he puts it right dead center down the middle again. So with 4:37 to go in the first half, this one is all Union. 48-0. They'll kick it off to the Enid Plainsmen next on KRMG.
Dan Potter for Ray Tech Roofing Sheet Metal. Kind of wish that I was ready for.
Zach, are you going to get him on the way off the field or back on?
On the way off.
Okay.
Residential.
Union Public Schools wish to thank Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma, our sports medicine provider for all district sports. Johnny Villa back deep for Enid. Cooper Houchin to kick off for Union. Kickoff return to
Tune, and that's going to be a 1st and 10 now for Enid right about their own, we're going to call it the 15-yard line. 4:27 to go in this game. Union up 48-0. Tom, the question to me, how long will we see the starters?
I knew that's what you. I think we'll see him the first part of the
Series?
second half. Yeah, the first series, and then we'll see. But I'm not the one in charge. But we'll start getting some of those guys out for sure.
They're actually going to give him progress to the 17-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 there. We saw a lot of time at quarterback late in the year, in late games. For Rovon, I think that would be good again.
Yeah, it could be, especially with the running game and this type of thing.
Priest throws quickly to his left side on play number 1, taken by Cam Mathis. He'll get to the 20-yard line. Shane Fields knocked him down right there. Gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. But it also, you want everybody to get some work. Now,
Right.
if Broken Arrow wins tonight, that's who you'll play next week, and it would be here. Then past that, you would cross over and you would play the other bracket. We'll talk more about that as the game goes along. But you would certainly want Rovon to have more work at quarterback. You'd want your backups working. Sunday Ola goes off. You want that backup guy working like he is now. So you certainly want that work. So they move it to the 20-yard line. We'll kind of call it, actually we're going to call it the 21. We'll call it 2nd and 6 now for Enid, trailing 48-0 with 3.5 to go here in this first half. Priest throws quickly left side once again. That ball caught at the 31-yard line again by Cam Mathis. He's become the guy, and that's going to be good for a first down. Union jumped him really quickly. Once again, it was Shane Fields, but not before he got the first down. And it's going to be hard to cover a guy who is 6'4", 170 pounds when Shane Fields is not that much.
No, and it's short pass. I mean, he starts to go deep, hooks up, ball.
Well, Blake Priest, the quarterback, and we mentioned he threw for almost 200 last week against Broken Arrow. The guy's a good football player. He's had some balls dropped that he threw very well tonight, but he's going to put it on the nose. Back in the under center is Priest, and that hadn't happened very often tonight. He's going to turn, fake to his left, roll to his right, looking. Now he's going to fire, and that ball is off the hands of a receiver at the 40-yard line. That was a really nice throw by Blake Priest, and he had a guy running freely there. That was Maddox Mayberry, and the ball just bounced off his hands. It wasn't going to be an easy catch, but it was a ball he should have caught. That was Hayden Brockett who was there, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
And that's been the really the biggest thorn for Enid at this time is their receivers have dropped the ball.
And that wasn't going to be the world's easiest
No,
catch,
no.
but receivers make.
But it's catchable.
Yeah, receivers just make that catch. Second and 10 now for Enid. They're once again at their own 30, but they trail 48-0 with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Priest slaps his hands. Now he's going to run a little pullback draw and just swallow it immediately on that thing as the backup running back. They are not getting an awful lot out of Johnny Villa, so Luke Raw, who took over middle of the season but hasn't played a lot lately, comes in. He's only a sophomore as well. He got it to about the 31-yard line, so we'll call it a gain of 1. It'll be third down and 9 now for Enid with 2:50 to go here in this first half. Rashawn Woods, their head coach, the former Oklahoma State tremendous football player, tremendous receiver. Had a cup of coffee in the NFL, but had a lot of injuries that gave him trouble. 2:37 to go and counting. 13 on the play clock as the Plainsmen line up with 3 receivers, 2 right side. Priest sends 1 man in motion now. Rolls to his right. Looks, he's going to fire back to the left side to the motion man.
Oh.
And that ball's incomplete, but there'll be a flag right there.
Yeah,
Shane Fields had really good coverage on that, but when Maddox Mayberry tried to come back to the ball, Shane just ran right into him. And that's just unfortunate because he was in exactly the right place. Didn't know the ball was coming yet. That's going to be interference and a first down for the Plainsmen.
Yeah, that was good coverage. Just didn't get his head turned around and find the football.
But to be honest, I mean, he saw the wheel and was there.
Yes.
But that was thrown. That was again a perfectly thrown ball by Priest. He put that ball up exactly when he should have. Had that been a split second later, he would have flipped the head around, but he just didn't have time. So I moved the ball up to the 31-yard line of Enid. They trail 48-0 with 2.5 to go here in this first half. 3 receivers stacked left, 1 to the right. Priest is going to throw quickly to the left to Mathis. He makes the catch at midfield. He's going to go across that to around the 47-yard line. Cam Mathis has just been a machine here in the last drive or so. Union had multiple players jumping on top of him out there to make that tackle. Not before he had a gain of 4 or 5, though. They're going to give the final tackle in there to Braylon Irving Fisher. They're going to actually give him 6. We'll call it second and 4. Union's 48 now. Plainsman showing some life. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Guy to the right is Tyke Andrews. He can go deep. Enid's going to roll to the right. Priest wants to go to Andrews. Wants to. Now he's going to fire to Andrews. And it should have been picked off. Oh, Brockett had his hands on that. Andrews was at the 40. Brockett cut in front of him at the 40. Made a beautiful move. And the ball just bounced straight off his hands. It will be third down and 4.
It'd have been close whether he was going to be inbounds. He'd had to get his feet, but it was an excellent play. Excellent.
He broke on that ball exactly like you're taught to, and he's over kind of slapping his hands right now. He knows that one's one he could have had. Minute 45 to go in this first half, 48-0 Union. Enid will have a third down and 4 at the 48 of Union. And there'll be a timeout called. We'll take a break as well. Come back with the third down play next on KRMG. Third and 4 play for the Union Plainsmen. They'll throw the ball to Mathis to the right side. Makes a guy miss. He's down to the 40-yard line. Mathis has the first down before he's taken down by Junior Smith. But a nice play by Enid as they put Mathis, the 6'4 receiver, in motion, toss it to him on the right side. And he's going to get all the way down to Union's 39-yard line. So with a minute 28 to go in this first half, the Plainsmen will not go away. They trail 48-0, but trying to look for a score. Andrews will go to the right. Again, 2 receivers to the left. Matthews is the outside guy, and he's way outside near the numbers. Plainsman on the right side, all the way over on that hash mark. Priest is going to fake to his right, throw to his left, or pardon me, fake to his left and throw to his right. It's incomplete to Andrews, who once again can't hold it. And it'll be second down at 10. That'll stop the clock with a minute 1. I don't know that have we heard of a running clock in the second half of a playoff game?
I don't. I was wondering about that a while ago. I know there's there's certain rules, or if the other team, if the teams.
It's the coaches who have to talk about it, right?
Yeah,
And the officials have to go from there, but I don't know if they want to do that or not.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about it being, the possibility that they wouldn't let them do it in the playoffs.
Second down and 10. They're going to throw quickly to the left side, and that ball bounces off the hands of a receiver out there. And I think it might have been touched by a Union player before it did, but Brock Slater had a shot at it, could not pull it in. It'll be third down and 10 now for the Plainsmen. They're on Union's 39-yard line, their deepest penetration so far. And this drive has been really mostly Blake Priest and a lot of help from Cam Mathis, that big receiver. He's 6'4", and he's going to be headed left side, and he is all the way out at the numbers this time. So that's a long throw just to get it to him right there. Priest in the shotgun, now sends Villa to his right. He's going to throw quickly to Villa, and he dropped the football. Had him at the 45-yard line if he caught it. There were two Redskins right there. Shane Fields was one of them. The other guy there was Jackson Jennings, who has just played his tail off lately, and he wasn't going to go anywhere, but that's going to bring up 4th and 10, and there's no question the Plainsmen will go for it here with under a minute to go in the half and trailing 48-0.
And they're going to call what they think, but I'm surprised they haven't sent Cam Mathis deep,
and
like
just toss
right
it in
in
the
here,
air.
and just toss it up in the air because he's a lot taller than everybody that's covering him.
4th and 10 now for Enid at the 39 of Union. Motion to the left by Villa. Alone in the backfield is Priest. Back to throw. He's going to fire it right deep, and there's nobody there. His receiver is Tyke Andrews, who held his route up around the 25-yard line. Clearly a miscommunication between quarterback and receiver. Priest thought he was going deep. Andrews cut it off. He ran a dig, and that's going to fall incomplete, and it'll be Union's football at their own 39-yard line with 45 seconds to go here in this first half, up 48-0. I don't know that I expect him to throw it to the end zone, but I don't expect him to pack it in right here, Tom.
No, it'll be interesting to see who's out there.
It is the first team. There's no question. I didn't worry about that. Two receivers right, one left. Once again in the shotgun, Tempest. A.J. Green next to him. He's going to roll to his right. Tempest has some room. He's going to run it if he wants, but he throws instead. Shea Dan has it at the 40-yard line. Shea, 35-yard line. Shady's going to go out of bounds right there. That's a nice job by Tempest. He once again had room to run, but then saw Shea Dan and thought, all right. He popped it out there to Shea Dan. That's a tremendous play. Eric Lewis on the final tackle. But that'll get Union all the way down to the 35-yard line of Enid, and it'll be 1st and 10 right there. Love the patience Grayson is showing.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, but it's really tough for a sophomore to have that much. And the thing about that, he threw that on the run.
Yeah, the thing about that is you said sophomore. This kid's going to get a lot better.
Yeah.
1st and 10 Union. Now at the 35 of Enid. Three receivers to the left of Grayson Tempest. Tempest slaps the hands. Back to throw, and he just got swallowed. Oh, my. He tried to hold up, and he might have gotten hurt because the way he was taken down, unfortunately. C.J. Adams jumped on him, and that's 285 pounds. Tempest is walking, but I guarantee you that one was painful. And there's a timeout called as he walks to the sidelines. He got up and kind of limped a little bit. He was very awkwardly taken down, almost on his knees, and then bent backwards by 290 pounds of an Enid Plainsman.
Yeah.
But he is also a tough young guy, and so he's definitely going to walk this one off. They'll go over and talk about it, and they call the timeout. Here's the hard part, though, Tom. If he tweaked anything, now he's got to go in the locker room and just sit.
Yeah, and that now you think, okay, what are we going to do second half with him if he has tweaked it?
And if he has and he gets tight in the locker room, they'll do everything they can to keep him loose. And again, there's no finer training staff than Dan Newman, Jacob Newby, and the other folks who helped him. As a matter of fact, there's another member of that training staff. We have not mentioned her all year long, and I don't know why I didn't. Her last name's DeShane.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, Brian's wife is on this training staff as well, and boy, what a family, the DeShane family. I remember when I first started doing games here a long time ago, and then Brian became a player. His dad and I kind of struck up a friendship, and then Brian signed with TU. His dad came to me and he goes, "Hey, we got 4 more years together." It was a lot of fun traveling with that family. 2nd down and 18 to go for Union. There was a penalty on that play. It'll be a drop back by Tempest. He's going to throw a little shovel pass forward. It's caught by A.J. Green. 30-yard line, 25, 20.
They're not going to catch him.
He's gone. Touchdown, A.J. Green. They ran a little shovel pass to the inside. A.J. had one guy to miss at around the 35. He did, and then literally just sauntered into the end zone. There were guys out there, but his first gear is everybody else's 4th. And he rolls into the end zone. Touchdown 5 tonight for A.J. Green. And, all right, how excited do you think Arkansas is now?
Oh, they've you've got to be very excited.
A.J. Green signed with Arkansas, or committed to sign with Arkansas, and he's been good, but the last half of the season, he's been great.
Yeah.
Counting on for the extra point. Snap, ball's down, kick up, and definitely down the center. 17 seconds to go in the half, 55-0 Union. Kickoff next on KRMG. At their own 35-yard line with 17 seconds to go here in this first half. A three-play 61-yard drive by Union ends with another A.J. Green touchdown, his sixth of the night. And this is just, well, it's 55-0. That's all I can say. A.J. Green has just been unstinking believable. I mean, he has been the second half of the year, and tonight, oh gosh, Tom, it's like he's just playing at a different level.
Yeah.
Union's going to snap it, but they're just going to run the kind of the victory play, or at this point, it's let's get to halftime play, and that's what they'll do. Priest will take it under center, and he will kneel, and they will run the rest of this clock off to 0. So that's going to get us to the half. Union leading 55-0 here in the first round of the playoffs. Remember, the winner of this game will get the winner of Broken Arrow and Putnam City. How's that going? Well, it's interesting you should ask. We will find out with Bryce Gardner. He'll be doing some scores here at the half. We'll also have a halftime interview from down on the field. Going to have an entire halftime coming up for you right here on KRMG. 55-0 Union. Back after this.
You think you've done your family?
Steppers. High Stepper of the Week is Mia Posey.
and there were young ladies, a couple of them from University of Tulsa that were grad students or going, and they were working with Dan and learning hands-on. I mean, not a class somewhere where you learn it, but right there on the spot. They were taping ankles, they were doing this, they were doing that, and they spend every day with Dan and his staff.
And it makes a huge difference for these guys. It does. And I know as a parent, if you're listening as a parent, you're just so grateful that these guys have that kind of care. All right, so we're about to get underway for the second half, and again, thanks to Larry. 55-0 Union, and we'll see exactly how they want to do things. They did get the ball to start the second half, so they are, the first half, so they will kick off to Enid here to start this second half. We normally have a visit with Kirk Frederick, but he got back out a little bit late, so I guess, Zach, we're probably not going to have a chance to get to him, but we'll get to him post-game, and we'll be able to. I'm sure right now all he's going to say is stay focused, keep doing your job, don't get sloppy, and those are the really important things right now.
Yeah, certainly are.
All right, Tom, so what do you want to see out of this bunch in the second half?
Well, you want to see no injuries. First of all, you want no injuries. You want to see, regardless of who we put out there, you want to see them be competitive. You want to see them do the right thing, and absolutely, we don't. A game like this can get really testy with the two teams for yellow flags and this type of thing. You don't want to do any of that because you don't want to take a chance of being thrown out of a game or having to sit out next week.
I think the first thing you probably really want to see out of this is just focus.
Absolutely.
If you'll just focus in the second half, we don't necessarily expect, certainly it'd be great to come out here and play exactly the same, half and maybe even better than you played in the first half. But what you really want is focus out of this team. And you also want, I think the other thing you really want work for some guys who aren't starters.
Right. And really what gets missed, I think, sometimes on this is guys that play some, maybe 8, 10, 12 plays a game on the first team, offense or defense, filling in, letting somebody get with it. But now they're going to get 2 and 3 times that many plays, and that really is going to help them.
Well, we hope it does. All right, so we are going to be set to kick off here in a second. Cooper Houchin will kick it off. Union will be kicking from south to north. Houchin approaches, puts the big foot to it, and that's going to go toward Johnny Villa, and he's going to take it, but in the end zone. And so that will be a touchback, and Enid will start at their own 20-yard line. 55-0 Redskins as we begin this second half. It's 8:49 here on KRMG. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to Bryce for those scores at the half. Looks like Broken Arrow's leading pretty comfortably over Putnam. So, Tom, I don't think it's going to surprise anybody that we think it'll be Broken Arrow Union here in the playoffs. And that's not novel. That's happened an awful lot of times, hasn't it?
Many a time. And I think it'll be interesting to see exactly what Enid does here. Are they going to run? They're going to try to run the clock down, try to get the heck out of here. But, they're not going to do that. I mean, they're going to try to score and that type of stuff. It'll be interesting to see just how far they're going to push it.
Blake Priest brings him up to the line of scrimmage at their own 20. He's in the shotgun. He's going to hand off to his right side, going forward to the 22-yard line. That's the backup running back, Luke Raw. He was kind of tripped up almost right away. And making that trip up for Union was Cam Skurlock, a big defensive lineman, a senior. So we're already seeing a couple of different guys out there. That's a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and are they going to? There might be some guys. I can't imagine. Enid will want to get some seniors that maybe haven't gotten a lot of playing. Let them get some playing time in the playoffs.
They'll hand off to Raw once again. He's got room up the middle this time. He's going to go forward and has the first down. Luke Raw is going to go across the 30-yard line. He's tackled in there by Union. The final guy to help bring him down in there was Arthur Cantlin. But that's going to get a first down there for Enid as they blew that one all the way out to the 34-yard line. 1st and 10 Plainsville. As I look out there, I see most of the starters still in there for Union. They'll mark it at the 33 of Enid, just underway second half, 55-0 Union, but a first down for the Plainsmen. Blake Priest brings him up. He'll have motion from right to left. He's in the shotgun. He's going to hand to Raw again, and this time he's swallowed up by Gabe Ford right away. He got to the 35. They may give him the 36, but Gabe Ford was riding him all the way. They'll give him a couple, and we'll call it 2nd down and 8. Baldwin now at the 35-yard line of Enid. Plainsmen dressed in their all white. You have the dark blue numbers, blue stripes on the pants, and then the silver helmets. Blake Priest with his hoodie out from under his jersey will be under center this time with Luke Raw behind him. They'll shift tight end left side. 2nd and 8. He's going to fake the handoff, roll to his left, and throw to the tight end, and he makes the catch, and he is right away taken down. He has nowhere to go. Arthur Cantlin just belted the tight end Tyler Holland the instant he caught the football. So that's a gain of nothing, and it'll be 3rd down and 8, and that's good coverage.
That was excellent, and you know, kind of the strange thing about it is he rolled it out, he threw it, he caught it, and we make the play right there. In the first half, they dropped the ball, and a lot of times they would have had some good yardage.
So it'll be 3rd down and 8 now for the Plainsmen at their own 35. They need the 43. Rolling to his right is Priest. He's going to fire it as deep downfield as he can. Got a man open, and that ball is dropped. Oh, my. At the 30-yard line, he had the same guy who's dropped 3 or 4 balls tonight already, Tyke Andrews, running wide open.
Yep.
He had just gotten behind Arthur Cantlin, and it hit him square in the hands, and he just dropped it. So
and he would have, I believe he would have scored because he was behind him about 3 or 4 yards.
Oh, and he can run, too. So
Yes.
he was already open, and now it's going to be 4th down and 8, and Tyke Andrews very slowly walks back to the bench by himself, tosses the ball, and walks away. On to kick this thing away is Villa, normally the starting running back. He's standing around his 25. Puts the foot to it, got it off quickly. This ball will be caught around the 45-yard line by Union at midfield. Pardon me, not quite at midfield. Caught at the 35, and then getting up to the 40-yard line after making that catch was Gino Boyd. It was a nice catch, though, and he got it to the 41-yard line, and that's where Union will take it, 1st and 10, leading 55-0.
I think this will be where we'll see what's really going to go on here with the second half. Like I said, it would be surprised if somewhere along the line, well, they've got totally different quarterback in. It's not Rovon.
We'll find out in just a moment. We're going to get into the lineup here in a second. Handoff on the right side. Nope, that's a fake handoff. Rolling to the left, they're going to throw that ball out there. It's caught by Sanders at the 40. He gets across that to the 45-yard line. The tackle in there was made by J.J. Wheeler. The guy under center right there for Union is Chance Hawes.
Yes.
Chance Hawes is going to play a little quarterback.
I got something down here about that.
We'll get down to Zach Reynolds here in a second after this play, and we'll find out a little bit more about Chance Hawes having a chance to play. He's a tall drink of water, is Chance Hawes. That completion, by the way, to Sanders, good for about 4. We'll call it 2nd down and 6, ball at the 45-yard line. 9 minutes to play, 3rd quarter, 55-0 Union. 2 receivers go right. These are all backups for the most part. 1 receiver to the left, Chance Hawes, will be the quarterback. It is Cullen Farley at the running back slot, and he is a load. Handoff, Foley, right side. Farley's going to get to the outside. He's going to get to the 40-yard line, not much inside that, 30, 43. He might get it to the 44, but he was gang tackled right there by Enid. All right, so what do we know about quarterback Chance Hawes, Zach Reynolds?
Well, it may be that he's in the game potentially because at the end of the first half, saw Rovon Banks kind of hanging around the trainer's area a little bit and didn't play after that. I didn't see quite what happened to him, or if he was hurt, and that's 100% what it is, but did see him by the training table, and once he went over there, he did not play the rest of that first half.
Yeah, all right, thank you very much, Zach. Well, the other good thing, the other thing, not good thing, the other thing there is you're getting another guy numbers, and you really can't worry about that. 3rd down and 9 now for Union, ball on their 42-yard line. Hawes, once again in the shotgun. He is straight back to throw, fires it to the right side, and that ball's going to fall incomplete. It was well past the receiver out there. He was trying to get it once again to, I think, Blake Posey. It was another guy who plays backup quarterback at times. The ball sailed over his head. It'll be 4th down and 9, and Union will kick it away. And by the way, after that drop by Tyke Andrews, when he came to the sidelines, he got into an argument with one of his own players. He ended up throwing the ball over there and then turned around and walked back to the end, and the coach had to come over and restrain him. And now he has put the helmet on, and he's walking back toward the huddle, but Tom, that was not a good scene right now.
No, it was not. That's not something you want to see.
Halcham will come on to kick this football away, and he's going to put the foot to it. It's going to be sailed down and down. It's going to bounce around the 20 and going to go inside that to the 10, I think maybe the 11. And that's where it'll be down. Nice job down there by Hayden Brockett to down that football. So with 7:46 to go in this 3rd period, Union does not add to their lead. It's 55-0, and they'll be playing a little defense here on KRG. And we'll see how many defensive players are going to be different as well, just like there were last time. And as I look out there, I'm seeing a lot of the normal starters, but I'm also seeing some guys who are filling in. We'll get you some of those numbers here. Let's see. I see Tristan Outlaw playing a little linebacker out there. Who else? Starter. Let's see. Lane. Devin Robinson's going to play some corner. We'll get to as many as we can. 1st and 10, Enid. They're going to hand off yet to the left side and just lit up right away. Oh, my. Yeah. Kevin Kaler just smacked, and I mean smacked Luke Raw as soon as he got the football. He got nothing. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Who else do you see out there, Tom, when it comes to backups?
Well, number 18.
That's Johnny Harrison. He's a normal
Okay.
starter.
I'm trying to.
See, I think we see Rhett Rogers playing a little safety. And by the way, Susan Olzowski Barrett, that is her grandson. Thank you, Susan, for that text. He
I
came
think
out
the
with a fumble
secondary
earlier, too.
is a lot of them are the same ones.
Actually, that's where most of the new guys look like they are.
Really.
2nd and 10. Now they're going to hand off again to Raw on the left side, and he's going to get piled up. He may have dropped the football there. No, there's just a lot of Redskins on top of him. Pardon me, Union players on top of him.
Did you mention Rhett Rogers?
I did. Final
Yep.
tackle in there made by Tristan Outlaw, who wearing that 41 with the dark from here because Union's in their black jerseys with the silver helmets. He looks like Phil Villapiano of the old Oakland Raiders. Just dated myself right there.
Braylon
3rd down
Irvin
and 5.
Fisher.
Yeah, Braylon Irvin Fisher's a starter, so he's normally out there. 3rd down and 5 now for Enid at their own 15-yard line. They trail 55-0. Rolling to the left is Priest. He's going to fire to the left, and that's incomplete. Had a chance to catch that thing right around the 14-yard line, and that was the tailback. But as soon as he got the ball anywhere near him, he got popped by Rhett Rogers, and that was not going to be anything Luke Raw could hang on to, and it'll be 4th down, and they'll kick it again. 6:25 to go, 3rd period, 55-0. And if the ball hits the ground, an awful lot of incompletions, this game may take a while.
Yes. Yeah. I like the way we ran the ball.
Gino Boyd will be the guy back to catch this punt. Punt coming once again from Villa, standing around his own 5 this time. Boyd standing about the 45 of Enid. Kicks away, and it's going to be angled, so it's going to be quite a run for Boyd, but he makes the catch, got a little room. He's at the 40. There's a flag. Oh, he's going to be dragged down to the 35-yard line.
Oh,
Flag is thrown really early, and there's an official just, I mean, he looks like he might almost be unconscious. Nope, he's starting to move now. An official took a shot, and I didn't see it. I don't know whether or not Zach did. If he did, let us know, Zach. But an official ended up down on his back, hat off, with his hands down. And a minute there, he looked like he might have been unconscious. And with his hat off, Tom, I wonder if his head hit the turf. I wasn't able to see that. We do know a flag was down, and the Union ended up around the 35. That will probably go against the Union, and they'll probably start more closer to the 45. But in the meantime, the entire training staff from both the Union and Enid are out there around that official who hit the ground.
And they haven't done anything but kind of pick up his head. Right now, they're talking to him.
Well, they did move his head. That's good
Yeah.
news, because obviously if they weren't moving his head, you'd worry about a head-neck injury.
Yeah.
The entire training staff's out there. Dan Newman's right on top of him. The Enid training staff is there. Jacob Newby is out there as well. He hasn't started to sit up yet, but I get the idea. Here he goes.
There he goes.
Now he's going to sit up. And we'll see what's happening. Now, at some high schools, you will have a backup around. Don't know if there is one here or not. We'll see. And while we're waiting, we'll take a break. 6:16 to go, 3rd period, 55-0 Union. This is Union football over Enid on KRMG. Here to go in this third period. Union leading 55-0 over Enid, round one, or the quarterfinals, if you will, of the playoffs here at Union Tuttle Stadium. The official that was injured is being taken straight to the ambulance. Now, he is walking, but he is very unsteady, so I think it's very clear, Tom, that was some kind of head injury.
Yeah.
Whether he fell and hit his head or whatever, Zach Reynolds is going to find out. But right now, Dan Newman, who is about the most caring guy you'll ever find, is escorting him all the way out so he can be taken, and I'm sure looked at the hospital, because that looks like maybe a concussion type thing. So it's going to be 4th down and 5 to go for Union. They're going to hand the football off left side. Cullen Farley's going to push forward to around the, that's not 4th down, pardon me, that was a 1st down. That was the marker was wrong. He'll push to the 45-yard line, and that was, after the penalty, still a 1st down play. But it was 1st and 10 all the way back around the 40 of Union. They're going to move it forward now. They're going to put it around the 45-yard line of Enid. So we'll go from there. Once again, Hawes in the shotgun. Going to hand off to his right, cutting back to his left is yet another running back. That is John Bohannon. He ambles forward to about the 42-yard line. Didn't get an awful lot. We'll talk at 3rd down and about maybe 3 to go for Union. And they are just running backs in there and out of there. Cullen Farley is back again. He and Bohannon are both big guys, and Farley, he can run now. So if he gets a chance to get in the open, look out. 3 receivers, 2 right side, 1 left side for Union, leading 55-0 with 5 minutes to go, third period. Farley to the right side of Hawes. Hand off to Farley again, and he just got jumped. I mean, there was no room right there. Earlier, A.J. Green had nothing but pastures to look at. Right there, that was a team picture of the Enid defense. The guy that was there first was Savion Vasquez, and that will bring up a 4th down, and Union will kick this thing away. It'll be 4th and 4. The ball will be on the 43-yard line of Enid. And it will be the second punt of the night for Union. Once again, it will be Cooper Houchin out there to kick this thing away. Back deep for Enid is Maddox Mayberry. He's standing right about his 11-yard line. There's the snap. Houchin walks into it, got it away. Ball is going to be very high, and Houchin's not going to, or pardon me, Maddox can't make the catch. It's going to bounce inside the 5. Was a great Union roll. Down to about the 7, and who else but Hayden Brockett was down there. So with 4:19 to go in the third period, 55-0, Union leads, and Enid will be all the way back at around their 7 to start this. Well, we're having Zach Reynolds check official, and we'll find out exactly what happened from Dan Newman after they come back the other direction. It's frightening. You don't want to see things like that happen. So the Plainsmen will take it there with 4 minutes and now running to play in this third quarter. We'll get some more scores coming up between the third quarter and fourth quarter. We'll find out exactly what's happening in that Broken Arrow Putnam game. Broken Arrow was leading pretty handily last time we checked, but Bryce Gerdner will have that for you next. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Blake Priest. Priest is going to hand off again, and boy, there's a big hole left side, and motoring forward all the way out to the 20-yard line was Luke Raw. Nice job by that Enid offensive line. Final tackle in there by Devin Robinson, a corner, but not before he got all the way from the 7 to the 20. That's a 13-yard gain. It'll be 1st down for the Plainsmen.
And Robinson, as you just said, listed as a corner, but it looks like he's playing safety.
He is right now, yeah.
Yeah.
3 receivers again, 2 to the right, once again for Blake Priest. And once again, the guy next to him is Luke Raw. Priest claps the hands. He's going to throw it right side, the ball way over the head of Tyke Andrews. So that's going to go incomplete. Right there on the coverage anyway was Arthur Cantlin. So even if he caught the thing, it wasn't going to go for anything. And it'll be 2nd down and 10.
And
the clock is running.
Yeah, I just started to say they must have decided to run a.
Yep, they've gone to a running clock, so that thing is still running, even though that ball was incomplete. And that really is best for both teams.
For both teams, absolutely.
You can see the ambulance now approaching. It's going to take that official to the hospital. 2nd down and 10 now for Enid. Football at their own 19-yard line. They trail 55-0. Priest going to hand off left side to Rye again. Has some room, but he's pulled down from behind. That was a really nice job by Gavin Kaler. Yeah. He had room, Raw did, when he first touched the ball. He got up to around the 24-yard line, but Gavin closed quickly on the backside, grabbed him around the waist, and dragged him down. And it'll be 3rd down and 5. Ball at the 24-yard line. Enid will need the 29 for the 1st down. Cam Mathis has been quiet this third quarter. He goes wide left. He had a really good second quarter. And Priest will bring him up to the line of scrimmage again. Now motion left to right. Priest claps the hands, fakes, throws to the middle of the field, and there he is. Cam Matthews makes the catch. At the 35-yard line, he ran the little slant to the inside of Cantlin, and Cantlin had good coverage, but Matthews is 6'4", and all he has to do is turn his body the right direction. It's an onside pass, or it's a quick pass right on site, and it's a nice job, and it's a first down.
And there were two receivers to that side, and the inside receiver went across and just opened up a huge gap that Mathis could just run a little short post or an in route, whatever you want to call it.
Ball's on the 35-yard line of Enid. They trail 55-0, a minute 57 to go here in this third period. Blake Priest brings him back to the line of scrimmage in the shotgun. Raw to his left. He's going to fake the handoff and throw, and that ball's caught. The big tight end at the 40, 35, 30. The big tight end all the way down inside that. Tyler Holland will take it down to about the 28-yard line, I think. Let's see where they mark him. It depends on when he started to go down. They're going to put it more like the 32. But that's a quick pop pass to Holland, and he quickly got about 26.
And Hayden Brockett brought him down, or he might have scored.
So it'll be first down for the Plainsmen. They are not going away. Now at Union's 33-yard line, trailing 55-0. They'll once again have the three receivers. Mathis, the guy wide to the left, but he's a shorter slot this time. Two guys to the right, including Tyke Matthews. Now in motion goes Mathis. They will hand off to Raw again, and this time Gavin Kaler just punked it. He got nowhere. He might have gotten a yard. It'll be second down and 9. And you talked about all the motion, and Rashawn Woods, the former Oklahoma State receiver, is their head coach. And he's got these guys running more misdirection than scammers.
Yeah, that's one of the things, as I said earlier, that's one of the things that the Coach Fred talked about, is they go motion all the time. And it just and I believe he was telling me on Wednesday, they spent a whole practice. I don't know, I think Wednesday's biggest part of the practice for the defense was handling this motion.
Well, they talk about getting your eyes right defensively, and that's what's important right there. Second down and 9 for Enid, and a whistle blows right before they snap the football. And I think we have a timeout. We'll take 1-2. 31 seconds to go, third period. 55-0. Union leads. This is Union football in KRMG.
There's a better way to buy a car, and you'll find it at Nelson Mazda.
Dan's still over there with him.
Yeah.
Each week, Coach Fred and KRMG's Rick Corey review the game with an entire playback of what you see tonight. The program showcases statistics from the game, player interviews, and game day photos. Check out the Union website for links to the show, as well as showtimes on Cox Cable. That's www.unionps.org. Special thanks tonight to Andy Irwin and the UView crew. The UView crew is made up of Union High School students who shoot the video you see on the scoreboard and on the Union Football Coaches Show. Thanks, UView crew.
Second down and 9 for the Enid Plainsmen at the 31-yard line of Union. Quick throw to Tyke Andrews to the right side, and he is pushed out of
Blake
bounds
Priest pass
down around the
complete to Tyke
27-yard
Andrews.
line. Made the really quick catch on a nice fast throw. Rhett Rogers pushed him out of bounds, so he'll gain about 3. We're going to call it third down and about 4 now for the Plainsmen as we have 18 seconds to go in this quarter, and they trail 55-0.
And this is where it's good, because this is still Enid's first team, I think, unless they've changed some offensive linemen out and stuff. And these guys here for Union are having to cover them, and they're having to tackle them, and it's, who knows, they're one play away from having to be out there.
Johnny Harrison playing a little nose guard right now. Priest makes a quick pump fake, throws behind the receiver. It's incomplete, trying to get it to Brock Slater, and you heard the horn sound signifying the end of the third quarter as that falls incomplete. We'll go to the fourth quarter, and Enid will come back with a third down and 4 to go, but they're in Union territory. But Union leads 55-0. We'll have scores in a minute. like Broken Arrow and Union right here next week in the playoffs. It will be a Friday game as well at 7 o'clock, and then anything after that, it would more than likely be road trips.
Yes.
But you would be at home at least for a little bit there. Interesting to see who comes out of which side. We'll talk about the brackets here as we have some time in the fourth quarter, but right now we'll get back to play. 55-0 Union as they begin fourth period of play. They did not score in that third period, the only period they haven't. It's going to be 3rd and 4 for Enid now at the 26-yard line of Union. Priest is going to throw it left side, and that ball's incomplete, and that might have been a lateral. It bounced, though. It was picked up quickly by Brock Slater. It was not a lateral. I thought maybe it was, and Slater might have been a chance for a first down because he picked it up first bounce like a good shortstop. And then the whistle blew, so that means that was a regular forward pass, and it'll be 4th and 4. You know, broken play, whatever. If you can get a first down, get a first down, right?
Yeah, first down's a first down.
Rick Corey, Tom Stockton. We got Zach Reynolds on the sidelines. He's still waiting. Dan Newman, the trainer, is still over with that official who was hurt earlier. And now the two teams are going to the sidelines here. That was 4th down. Oh, okay. There was 4th down, so they're going to turn it back over. Scoreboard said 3rd. Thank you, Becky. Stats coming again. We'll get to those in a moment. So if that was 4th down, but the other teams didn't know either. They were back out lined up again because the down markers were wrong. Teams were back out lined up again to play a 4th down play, and the official said, nah. So we're going to flip it over. So with 11:57 to go here in this game, 55-0 Union, and they will take the football once again. We'll see exactly who they have again on offense. Last time they came out and were running with Chance Hawes as their quarterback. They were going back and forth between Cullen Farley and occasionally Gage Bohannon, pardon me, not Gage Bohannon, but let's see, I'll get to it. Well, they were rotating running backs, let's just say that. John Brandon played a little too.
Yeah.
So it looks like Hawes will be back once again. Farley is the setback. There's going to be 1st and 10 Union at their 25. Hand off to Farley, left side, and he's got contact right away, but pushes himself forward for a couple. Sean Graves got a hold of him almost immediately, but I think he got at least a couple. Again, we are in the end zone broadcasting, and we're very high here in the end zone. So we have a difficult time sometimes when the ball's on the other end of the field, and it is. So we're all the way on the south end. The ball's way down at the 20-yard line on the north end. So the perspective of how close they are getting to us is difficult from here. And really, honestly, Tom, the whole doggone game's been played down there for the most part.
The biggest part of it has been played.
But we'll call it 2nd down and 8 for Union at their own 28-yard line. Hawes once again in the shotgun. He's going to hand left side. Again, there's a big hole now. 30, 35-yard line, 40, 45, 50. That this time is not. That is Johnny Bohannon, who gets all the way down to the 40, now the 35. They're going to call him all the way down to the 35-yard line. So nice job, John Brandon, as he got free, and a nice job by that offensive line. They'll take him all the way from the 28-yard line all the way down 27 yards to a first down in Enid territory, and they'll mark it at the 35-yard line of the Plainsmen. So with 10:40 to go and counting here in this game, 55-0 Union, and they'll see if they can't get back to it. Farley's back in as the running back. Two receivers go to the right side. Again, Chance Hawes is the quarterback. Double tight ends. Hawes in the shotgun, standing at his 40. Back to throw. Throws to his left, and that ball is incomplete. It was really not a bad throw. It went right off the hands of Blake Posey, though. And he did have decent coverage in there, and it was kind of back shoulder, but he had a chance to make that catch. He was hit by Reese Slater. It falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it was. He got hit as soon as the ball hit him.
So the ball remains at the 35 of Enid, and it's 2nd down and 10 now. Hawes back in there again at that quarterback spot. John Brandon will be the running back spot, I think, this time. Hawes under center. Going to turn and toss to Brandon left side, and he motors down to the 34-yard line, but he had a lot of company there from Enid. As he was going out of bounds, John White was riding him like a cheap ride, and he didn't get him down initially, but he got a little help out there, and once he got that help from Donovan Raymond, he was able to get him down after a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd and 9.
And again, these are good reps for some of these kids to get. It'll really it'll make them want to practice even harder next week.
It's a good thing for all of them. So they're going to go with double tight end, short slot right side. They'll have a short receiver left side on this 3rd and 9 from the 34-yard line of Enid. Union leading 55-0. Hawes under center. He's going to turn and hand. No, he's going to fake it. Roll to his right. He's going to throw, and that ball is caught at the 40-yard line, but taken down right away. There was really no room to get anything else done. So when the ball was caught initially, and it was by Lane Wood, he was immediately hit. Enid jumped on him. Brock Slater was one of those guys who did, and it's going to be 4th down and 9. And it looks like the Union Redskins, looks like Union will come on and try another field goal. Or will they? No, they brought the offense back out.
Yeah.
They're going to stick with the offense, and there's arguments about this one, Tom, and I'll ask you how you feel. If you go for it, it looks like you're trying to be greedy, but if you kick field goals, it looks like you're trying to be greedy. How would you go?
You can't. I mean, we're doing it with the second team and probably some of them maybe even third team, and I think it's fine. I think it's fine to do this.
4th and 14 for Union at the 39-yard line of Enid, so they need the 25 for the first down. Hawes in the shotgun. He's straight back to throw. Fires to his left, and that ball is caught, but then taken down immediately was Trayvon Graves, and that will turn the ball over to Enid. And a really nice play right there by Reese Slater, who was right on top of it, and Enid will take over at their own 35-yard line. So with 8:29 to go in this game, Union still up 55-0, and they will give the ball back over. And now the focus is on no fourth-quarter touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's something Kirk Frederick is very, very big on, and I know he's out there trying to motivate those guys.
Well, yeah, and you've got guys out there that haven't gotten in some games. Maybe they haven't played at all, and they got a chance to get out there, and they've got most of Enid, if not all of Enid's first team. So this is a tough situation. I mean, it's a challenge, no doubt about it.
And that's what you want for this football team. So it's going to be now 1st and 10 for Enid. Ball's going to be on the 35-yard line. They're on 35. Back to throw is Priest. Got pressure. Runs to his left. He's going to fire this thing as deep as he can downfield. Got a man out there, but the ball's incomplete, and there's a flag. And there should have been, quite honestly, that was interference. That was a little bit of hand fighting initially going on, but then kind of full-out interference. Maddox Mayberry was the guy they were trying to get it to. Jason Flores on the coverage, but that will be interference. And now I know Zach Reynolds has had a chance to talk on the field to Dan Newman. Zach, what'd you find out?
Yeah, as you mentioned, just talked to Dan, and it seems like it was the umpire. He just kind of got caught up and ran over and did, as you speculated, kind of caught his head on the turf. He's responsive now, though. He's headed to the ER, but just as a precautionary.
We appreciate that, Zach. That umpire, by the way, is Steve Emmert, so we wish Steve the best. He's been here for many of our games this year. 1st and 10 for the Enid Plainsmen. 7:30 to go in this football game. Priest in the shotgun. He's going to fake a handoff and throw to his left, and it's incomplete. That ball bouncing into Maddox Mayberry, and again, good coverage out there. Hayden Brockett is kind of he's a starter, and he plays a little bit on the second team as well. But Hayden's played a lot of football this year and has really improved the second half of this season. Yes. He knocked that away, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
And it's the referee. Okay, I started to say they're doing a running clock, and that was an incomplete pass, and it stopped for a little bit. Then I just saw one of the referees start waving his arm.
If you work over there as a timer, you're used to doing that.
Yes.
So that's muscle memory
absolutely.
more than anything else. 2nd and 10, ball on the 50-yard line for Enid. They trail 55-0. Priest is going to throw a little inside handoff. So it's a jet sweep down to the 45 of Union to the 44. Maddox Mayberry again. And he got good yards there, but then at the end of that, he took a pretty good shot from Donovan Flowers. We're going to call it 3rd down and maybe about 3. So I think they're going to mark it all the way down about Union's 42-yard line. Enid's continuing to play hard. Rashawn Wood said, their head coach, he really thinks he's got the base for what he thinks is going to be a good group. But the most thing I'm impressive with is that they've had great effort.
Yeah, they really have. And I noticed, I'll wait till after this play.
3rd down and 3. There's a fake to the left side. They're going to throw it again to the tight end, and that is complete. Boy, Priest put an absolute bullet in there to Tyler Holland, and he made the catch. He is taken down right away, but not before he got the first down.
Or did he drop it?
Oh, wait, they said he dropped it?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, Holland had that. He had it when he went to the ground. Zach, did it get knocked out of there at the end?
He dropped it as he was going down, and then once that hit came in, he lost complete control. But he was kind of bobbling it as he was trying to head to ground.
All right, thank you very much. Down on the field, that is Zach Reynolds. Now they're going to go on the 4th down. Priest rolls to his left. He's going to fire this thing deep, and that ball is incomplete. Just over the hands of Maddox Mayberry, who again was open. Mayberry had an opportunity, but just could not quite get to that thing, and that will turn it over on downs. It'll be 1st and 10 for Union, leading 55-0 with 6 minutes to go here in this game. Both teams just kind of standing around.
Yeah, and it's a tough situation if you're over there at Enid. How long do you let these seniors play?
as long as they want.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would do too, as long as they want to play, and because this is, obviously they're going to be their last game.
John Brandon will be the running back. Chance Hawes will be the quarterback. 3 receivers, 2 left side. Union will take over at their own 43-yard line, leading 55-0, 5.5 to go in this game. Hawes will turn and toss it to the left. Brandon gets outside to the 40-yard line, 45. He's up to the 50-yard line. Boy, right now, John Brandon, who's only a junior, is looking like a force next year. He and Junior Smith will both be back. A.J. Green, who's just been great, will be gone, but that was another tremendous run by Brandon. He gets it up to the 50-yard line, gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd and 3.
Yeah, that was a good job. He broke one tackle, and then
That was sheer speed. He's got some speed, too.
Well, it's not unusual for all their running backs to have some pretty good speed.
We'll call it 2nd down and 3. Ball right at midfield for Union. Enid shifting that big defensive line to the left. Hawes under center. He's going to turn and toss it again to Brandon. He's going to get across midfield. He's going to get down to the 45, and he's got the first down. Brandon just would not stop, just kept pushing. Nice block out in front of him, by the way, by Blake Posey. He was finally knocked out of bounds, but not before he had the first down. So with 4.5 to go, 55-0 lead, Union will have a first down. Now the ball will be at the 45-yard line of Enid.
And I've been impressed with the second team or the reserves that have been in. That not only the great effort, but they've done a good job. They look like they could be good ball players.
So they're going to have double tight ends. They'll also have 2 short slots left side, 1 receiver wide to the right. Hawes once again will be under center. First down now at the 45-yard line of Enid. Have yet a new tailback in, and he takes a hit but gets away at the 45, gets inside that to the 40. What a brilliant play. Oh, my goodness. That is Allen, I think it's Dickey or Dickey.
Yeah, Decay or
and he actually had nowhere to go and somehow was able to get 3 yards out of that thing by making one guy miss and getting all the way down to around the 42-yard line. We'll call it 2nd and 7.
I think they've got some depth in that running back position.
Well, he sure showed some move. He showed a little bit of a move right there. Allen's still playing that tailback slot right now. Under center once again is Hawes. He's going to turn and hand to him again. He's got a bit of a hole this time. He's going to break free to the outside. He's at the 30, cuts back at the 25, and that's about where it's going to be. He really cut back a little earlier, or probably the 30-yard line, 29-yard line, and I thought he might be able to break that tackle, but by the time he had a guy get a hold of him, and that guy was Carlos Alvarado, Enid had about 4 other guys there, and he was dragging about 1,000 pounds worth of player and couldn't get any further. He did get a nice first down, though, and Union will now have it at the 24-yard line of Enid. 2:54 to play in this game, 55-0 Union already, trying to add to that. 2 receivers left side tied in there as well. Hawes will once again be under center. Calling signals, taking his time. Going to turn and hand left side, and that is Brandon. He pops to the outside. Brandon makes one miss down inside the 15, but there's a flag behind him. Well, Brandon all he's going to take is he gets a step, and he's going to be gone. But there's a flag behind that, and that likely will be holding. Well, that flag is sitting right about the 23. If that's the spot of the foul, that'll take him back closer to the 33. We'll see where they walk with it. They're not going to go quite that far. They're going to take it back to around the actually, they are. They're going to go all the way to the 34-yard line. So 2:30 to go, leading 55-0. It'll be first down, but they'll have a ways to go for Union. They're going from north to south, coming right at us here in the UMAC. Be 1st and 20. Ball on the 34. Running back now is Cullen Farley. 2 receivers to his left for Hawes under center. And again, slow snap count. He's going to hand to Farley straight up off the middle, and he doesn't have a lot of room, but pushes forward down to the 30-yard line. And Cullen Farley is a pretty good-sized guy, so even when he's got a head of steam, he's not going to be easy to bring down. And the guy he had the meet-up with is Sean Graves, who's 6'4", 355. And Farley still got about 5 out of that. We'll call it 2nd and 16.
Well, he's kind of short and built, and there's just no place to hit him.
He does run behind his pads, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He does a great job of that.
Minute 40 to go in this 4th quarter. 55-0 Union. No scores in this second half at all. Back in that running back slot once again is number 15, Alan Decay. Chance Hawes under center. Enid shifting late. Toss right side to Alan DeKay, and he's not going to get much. He got stacked up almost immediately by Enid. The Plainsmen swarming to that football right there. One of the guys up off that tackle was number 31, and that is Chad Beard, sophomore defensive end. And again, we said a lot of sophomore junior names out there for Enid. They are going to be around a while. It's a proud program. They have a state championship or two to their name back in the 70s and the early 80s. They've struggled a bit in the last few years. Two receivers come left side for Union, one to the right. DeKay will still be that running back. Nope, actually they've made another running back slot change. Looks like now that is going to be, I think it's R.J. Brown, but I can't really tell. And a handoff, fake the handoff. Hawes running to his left. Oh, he's got all kinds of room. Chance Hawes, 25. Chance Hawes at the 20, and he's going to get whacked out of bounds.
And a flag.
And there is a flag. Hawes was just clearly going out of bounds and was stepping out of bounds. And as he did, he got lit up there at the end by Carlos Alvarado. And quite honestly, Tom, he was really close to the sidelines. I'm not sure I'd call that, but I understand why the officials did, because you want to keep control of this game. We're fortunate enough we are on this end so we can see exactly where the sideline was. That was really close to him being right there on the sideline.
Yeah, and I think part of it was he hit him pretty high.
He did.
And he hit him pretty high, and I think the referee might have taken some.
Unfortunately, it was more of a shove than anything else, and Hawes did wind up over against the concrete, but I don't think he actually hit the concrete. So there's 19 seconds to go, and there will not be another play in this. As a matter of fact, Kirk Fredericks called his team to the sidelines and said, we're done, and that will do it. So this game's going to end, and Union will win it 55-0, and they will take on the winner of Broken Arrow Putnam City, and there's a really good chance that's going to be Broken Arrow. They're leading nicely in their game. We have all zeros on the sidelines and the clocks now. So we'll come back with the post game in a moment. Union wins 55-0 in this opening round of the playoffs here in 6A. This is Union football on KRMG.
Test.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Broken Arrow Tigers.